Every day I see you is a fine day.
NBA is in full swing. There's only one game left in terms of football. Super Bowl Sunday next week. Recording this Wednesday afternoon. I'm joined once again by Logan, and we got to do it now that all of my focus, at least, is fully on the NBA. I'm joining you as you're on that League Pass grind, as we know. League Pass tiers. We got to get into it. So Logan has cooked up his Pass tiers, and you'll be getting my live reaction because I've not seen this list yet. So Logan, start us off as we do if you haven't checked out our other League Pass tier videos. So we do it basically from the bottom up. And yeah, kick us off with the F tier. We only got two teams on there, I see. He just sent it to me, so this is live.
Yeah, so in the past, I haven't really made it much as like a ranking in these tiers, but this time I kind of put a little bit of effort into that. So the teams on this tier list that are most to the left are the best of that tier, if that makes sense. So that means the worst tier is our Sacramento Kings. I will say Sabonis came back from injury. He missed a couple months, but he's been nice to see. They've been bringing him off the bench, and he's been a good energy spark from there. And they actually have been kind of competitive in games recently, a few outright victories, which have been nice. They're also doing a four center rotation. They're playing Sabonis with Achua, and then they have two rookies, Maxime Renal, and then a two-way rookie, Dylan Cardwell, who he alone is must-see TV because his reactions to all his plays are super great. He's such a good hype guy, good guy to have for your home crowd. But the team is kind of abysmal. Not everyone fits great together, and they are kind of directionless. And I'm curious what they're gonna be doing here at the deadline soon. As for Indiana, they are more healthier than they've been right now than they have this season. And the home crowd is always nice to see, but when they're on the road, they're not really scoring much, and there's just not much there to see. Like it's cool seeing Nimhard being good, but he's not all the way efficient too often. Siakam hoops when he's leading the show isn't really aesthetically pleasing to me. So though for those main reasons, oh, I will say though, shout out to Jay Huff and Micah Potter, just some big man shooters. They've had some nice energy, and I do like seeing like their young guys get some opportunity here, but they are in F for a reason. I'm just not watching them too much.
Yeah, especially with just the fact that it's just pretty much just like a leap year for the Pacers because I can't imagine this team fully healthy, get everybody back, get Halliburton back with one of these guys up at the top. I mean, I'm personally biased, but Arizona being at 21 and 0 right now, Koa Pete is looking really intriguing as a top three pick. So we'll have to see. I mean, even his running mate, Braden Burries, he's been playing tough. He had a game-saving block the other night against BYU, and they really did shut down AJ DeBansa. So I don't know if it's just the culture or if AJ's kind of could be a fraudulent as a number one pick. So we'll have to see. Obviously, I completely agree with your F tier so far. So far, so good in my opinion.
And you know, that's the only tier that I hadn't changed since the last time we done this.
That sounded
Um,
familiar. I was like, okay, I think I remember that.
yeah, because the website I make it on auto saves my last stuff, so I was like, I don't think I need to change anything here. All right, moving on to our D tier. Minnesota, so they're the best in this D tier. I think this is more just like me and what I like watching. Like I know what I'm getting out of them. There's nothing super intriguing to watch except when Anthony Edwards is going off. They're more of a team where I'll tune in if I know something cool is happening, but as far as like start of games, tip off, I'm not really watching them unless they're playing a team that I want to watch. Usually I just get into this team whenever something's going on with them. As for the Warriors, I have them low here because Jimmy got hurt, but honestly, they might be a bit more fun to watch going forward. Just, I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for guys on that team. Like they beat Minnesota. Well, I guess they played them twice. The first time they played them, they beat Minnesota by 26 at Minnesota, and they were like 9-ish point underdogs, 11 point-ish underdogs. And now the next game they got blown out because they sat everyone. The Warriors did. But as for now, they're just down there. But I do think there's some potential for them to rise here. For the Bucks, I'm sure you've seen the Giannis stuff coming out today that he's ready, quote, ready for a new home. They were already low even with Giannis hurt. Like we love Ryan Rollins on this show, but how much Ryan Rollins can we get and how much can he do to make this team higher than a D tier league pass? Not that much. Um, and there's not really many young pieces besides him that I'm really excited about. Like I like Pete Nance a lot, so maybe he's a guy they have on their two-way. Maybe he can get some run going, and that might help me tune into them a bit. But as for now, I have no interest. If they do make a trade and get a lot of players in return, then they are subject to rising up because I do like seeing new dynamics and teams and rotations. For the Magic, they're just not performing well. And if a team's not really playing well, I'm not really trying to watch it too much. They were fun earlier this season when they were moving really fast, bringing the ball up, high scoring. But right now, it's just a little tough. I just don't love watching Paulo turn around middies. Franz is hurt right now, which sucks. I will say though, the Anthony Black breakout has been pretty great. I like watching his highlights, not as much tuning in, but the highlights are something I look forward to. And then rounding out with the Wizards, if they had Trey, they would actually be a lot more higher for me because I think Trey could really elevate a lot of these guys on this team. But as for now, there's just not much that I'm looking for here. Like I like Trey Johnson, I like Keyshawn George, I like Sar, but they're getting blown out a lot in a lot of games. There's some games where they're competitive, but for now, I'm just not really turning them on too often.
Yeah, I mean, kind of going backstepping between each team. Trey Johnson's been balling out. I saw a stat the last 4 games. Every game he shot over 43% from three. And they only won one of those games out of the last 4. But I really liked him coming out of the draft. His shooting ability, I think, compared with Trey, would be an ideal pairing. And then going through the rest of the teams, the ones I really want to touch on, I kind of really like Giannis to Atlanta. I kind of really love that situation. Did you have a preferred destination you want to see Giannis? Obviously, if he goes to like the Lakers, we're gonna have to have a different conversation. But it just seems more like a realistic preferred destination that you feel like would be the most exciting as we head into the trade deadline.
I haven't really dove into like possibilities too much because there's just so much like cap rules and flexibility you have to get behind. Like, I don't think Atlanta can really make a deal work anymore with the trades they've made. Like, they can't re-aggravate or re-aggregate CJ McCollum's contract, which basically means they can't put his contract with someone else to make a deal because that's already been happened with the way he and Kispert were packaged together for Trey. They can't repackage CJ this season.
Damn.
And I also wouldn't trade Jalen. I would never trade Jalen Johnson for Giannis. I wouldn't have done it before the season even started, and that was like the most popular trade out there. As for Giannis teams, I don't know. Like it's not optimal for him, but I do like the idea of him being on the Nets because I think there is stuff to work with there. A great coach, decent young pieces, and they have a lot of flexibility to make more moves to build around Giannis. In the past, the Nets have always made they've made trades in the last couple decades to bolster talent, buying stars essentially. I I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and do it, but it's not the most optimal fit for where Giannis is being 31 years old. So I'm not too sure about Giannis destinations right now. There's a lot of stuff in the air and just a lot of different trades that people are going to have to work through. Like I think if a Giannis trade happens, we're going to end up seeing it be like a 3 team or 4 team deal, and a lot of guys are moving in it.
Gun to your head, does Steph Curry retire as a Golden State Warrior if you had to predict today?
Yeah, I think so. He's got what is it? Four four rings, 5 rings. Um, yeah.
Yep.
I
One by himself,
yeah,
two with KD, and then my poor Celtics weren't ready yet.
yeah. So it's not like he has much to chase. Legacy wise, I think the best thing you can have is sort of being a legend of one area, and he already is a legend, but it would be nice if he just stuck it through. And I do think Steph would be a kind of person that wants to stay there.
I definitely think in a certain way he is this generation's Kobe. We had Kobe up until 2016 in terms of playing career, and I think Curry, he's going to be a legend no matter what. If he does ring chase, like tries to team up with LeBron or something like that, the speculation's been since they were in the Olympics and played so well together. I just think for him, just retire a Warrior. You're already a legend there. You might as well be this generation and probably the greatest shooter of all time. C tier. I'm excited. This is the most amount of teams, a lot of teams in your C tier. Start us off.
Yeah, so for the Jazz here, Nurkic had three straight triple doubles. And that's just awesome. I love watching that. I could talk about his like career path for 10 minutes. It's so fascinating, the stuff he's overcame, whether it's injury, horrible roster fit, getting traded multiple times. He's been such a great leader on this Jazz team. But aside from him, there's more to love. Markkanen missed 2 weeks with an illness, but he's now back, so they're definitely going to be trending up in watchability. Keontae George has been breaking out. Sensabaugh had some great games. And then you have a whole mix of other young guys like Collier, Filipowski, Hendricks. Even Cody Williams has been showing some good, development this season. And they're really fun to watch at home. So that's the reason why they're up there. As for the Clippers, Kawhi and Harden, they've been making it work really well. I don't remember exactly what the record is since Ty Lue said that like they needed to go on a run, but they are on a great run. They were looking pretty abysmal. But when you're winning and you're playing well, I like to watch it. In their last 10, they're 9-1. So they're winning games and it's kind of fun to watch because they've had some young guys step up like Kobe Sanders. Jordan Miller's been really good. And then even some games where Zubac had been out or Lopez had been out, their rookie Yannick Konen Niederhauser, the Swiss rookie, he's been really good in the backup minutes that he's had. So there's a lot of nice stuff to see out of the Clippers right now. For the Sixers, this is a trend up for them. Paul George just had his season best game last night, I believe it was. Embiid's been really good when he plays, and he's actually been playing, so that's awesome. Maxey, of course, is so fun to watch whenever he's going off. And then you still have the energy from VJ Edgecombe, Quentin Grimes, and then even the guy I mentioned on our love list video, Barlow. I love watching Dominic Barlow too. I can't pass that opportunity up. As for the Mavericks, Cooper Flag, I just like seeing what he can do. I'm also a big fan of this Najee Marshall, skill development that he's had, handling the ball, being a playmaker. I like watching all the stuff come into fruition. Brandon Williams too on the Mavericks,
I was just
pretty
going to
good
bring him
shot
up.
maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little ball stoppy with him, but this team kind of needs to go to scores, so it's not that bad. Um, for the Heat, this is a demotion for them. They haven't been playing as great recently, but they're also dealing with some injuries. Like Davion Mitchell's missed a few games. Ware has been out. Tyler Hero's been out. But I still do enjoy watching Bam Adebayo kind of lead an offense whenever he does it. It's fun. And I like watching Norman Powell huck up some threes. He's one of my favorite guys watching coming off like a double stagger screen or dribble a handoff. And for the Cavs, like the Cavs are kind of like the Wolves for me. I more tune in if something's going on. Like if, Donovan Mitchell, I think he had 45 points the other night. That's something I'll tune into while it's happening. But I'm not really sitting down to watch them. They're also not fully healthy right now, and I'm just not too interested in the roster outside of that. Like I do like Jalen Tyson a lot, who's been playing well. But aside from that, it's not super fun to watch unless something's going on with them. And then for the Lakers, um, I just I'm not a big a fan of watching Luca anymore. He just like he complains so much. Like it's just every play he'll like whine, and then sometimes it affects the way transition defense happens where he doesn't get a call and he's bitching, and then the other team goes back and score because they're on a 3-on-4 or 4-on-5. But he's still an awesome player offensively whenever everything is clicking. So for that alone, he carries them to C. But if they did not have Luca, it would be like an F, maybe. I don't even know what to make of LeBron at this point. He's been having a good year. And it also sucks that Reeves is hurt because Reeves is fun, but he hasn't been playing. He's been out with a calf injury.
Yeah, Luca just, I mean, he's a true one of one, just based off the fact that the numbers are always going to be there. But the some of the plays are right up there with Jokic, just some of the passes, some of the creation, but I know he's definitely declined for me. I loved watching him early on. I knew he was going to be a star when he going into the draft. I thought the Suns should have taken him number one instead of eight, and I'll still stand by that. And the Kings, they're always gonna fumble around as a franchise, other than the light the beam year. I did want to give a shout out to Jalen and his brother going into the NFL draft. Jordan Tyson, he's a stud receiver out of ASU, Forks Down. But Jalen Tyson has been balling out for the Cavs, and then I really do love Cooper Flag. Watching him, just the way he's playing at the age that he is at is just unheard of, and I just think he deserves all the hype that he's received. The plays he's making and the way he's leading that Mavs team, and they're not a horrible team. Like they easily could be one of the worst teams if it wasn't for him. So, shout out to him and the Sixers. What should be the Sixers fans? What should they expect the rest of the season? Do you think this is a team that can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, or do you think that is just pump the brakes, Maxi, Edgecombe, you got your backcourt of the future, just kind of chill out and coast?
Yeah, just it's pattern recognition, the last however many seasons, 7 seasons, it's just been disappointment in the playoffs, whether it's injury or a close loss. Recently, it's always been injury. I would say don't have your hopes up too much. Like you said, just enjoy the Maxi and Edgecombe future that you have coming for you. Whatever happens with Embiid, I'd say just enjoy him while you have him. But don't have your expectations high because if he's hurt in the playoffs, I don't want to see people shitting on him. He's fought so hard to come back from all these injuries that he's had, and he's playing really well right now. As for Paul George, I don't know how many people liked that contract when it happened, so I understand it if you want to slander Paul George a little bit. If it's worthy, though, people will just shit on anyone, even if they lose, but the guy still had a good performance. If it is worthy, then go for it. But I would just say you have a good future ahead of you, unless Maury trades away Edgecombe for Giannis or something. I don't know. I just know Bill Simmons talked about that, which would be a horrible deal. But yeah, enjoy the future you have with Maxey and Edgecombe. That's what I would tell Sixers fans.
This B tier only has one Eastern Conference team, and all the rest are in the West. So give us your B tier and why you have them, how the way you have them. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so Portland, I'm a big fan of watching Denny Advida just do his work. I like a kind of guy that just gets downhill all the time. And then whenever he's hitting his threes, it kind of really just unlocks his game from all levels because you either have to step up on him or he's going to take you to the rack because he's so big, quick, and physical. And then I like the pieces around him, the defensive pieces, really specifically Tamani Kamara, Klingon, Sissoko, Drew Holiday just got healthy. Speaking of healthy, Scoot Henderson still hasn't played yet. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Before the season started, it sounded like he was going to be back by December, but still not back yet. But they are a fun home team to watch. They do play with pace sometimes. And it's just really like Denny Advida that I like watching. The Rockets, you know, the 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 rebounding dominance that was at the start of the season is still there, but I think I've just kind of gotten used to watching it and I'm just not clicking into it as much. I love seeing Kevin Durant still operating at this age. He had 30 points the other night against Detroit. I like watching Reed Shepherd when he's going off. But the thing with the Rockets is like I'm a fan of them. I just know what I'm getting out of them. So I'm kind of like I'm not watching them as much. So I don't really have too much reason for Houston being in B. I'm just kind of watching more teams other than them. As for the Knicks, kind of a dumpster fire. Sometimes it's I don't know, they're 5-5 in their last 10, but it's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of watching the Brunson experience, but I kind of like everything else around it. I like Brunson when he's not at the line as much. And I'm not someone to like complain about foul baiting. Like I do think it is a skill. But whenever he's posting up from almost the 3-point line and like mid-range area, I'm just not as interested. I'd rather be watching something else. Um
I feel like the Knicks and
Spurs,
the T-Wolves have played the same. Like you were talking about the T-Wolves kind of having the same play style. I feel like they've when I tune in, obviously I tune in more near like the All-Star break, but they just look the same in the playoffs. It's like, okay, we got Brunson, we got Randall, we got Anthony. Like they just kind of are mirror images of each other of just playing the exact same way as they always have.
Yeah, like the Cavs and the Wolves, I'm more tuning in if something crazy is happening. I'm not really sitting down to watch the start of their games like some of these other teams will get to. Next is the Spurs. I'm coming a bit around on watching the Spurs more. Just the Wemby experience is nice whenever he's not taking inefficient jump shots. I like what I'm seeing, especially on the defensive end. It's just mesmerizing seeing all this ground that he can cover. But everyone says that, so I'm not going to keep rambling about that. They're they're finally getting pretty healthy. And the team's meshing well. They've been playing well, and it's been good hoops for the most part. The Suns, I have them low here just for the injuries that they're dealing with. Booker is going to be out for some time, not too long, but a little bit. And it's kind of like Houston, where like they were higher earlier this season on my watchability. It's just I know what I'm getting with them now. It's not as much of like a new thing, like a new surprise. I've kind of, I know what I'm getting out of them now. My expectations are where they're at. So it's nothing to knock on them. It's just there's teams I'm watching more than the Suns right now. And then the Nuggets, they're low, obviously, because Jokic is hurt, but they're not lower because I do like seeing what they're doing in between to fill the gaps. Like this Peyton Watson breakout has been super fun to watch. It's like no one really, no one really knew he had this kind of skill set and usage to be efficient with it. And it's been pretty great to watch. Even like guys like Pickett have been having some good games. Zeke Najee's having some good games. I like seeing what they can fill, in the aggregate while Jokic has been out.
So we are two-thirds of the way through these teams. I like this top 10. So start us off your A tier, and then we'll get to the S tier, the top five of each.
Yeah, A-tier Raptors, they're one of my favorite home teams to watch, especially because their broadcast is pretty good. But I also like their players a lot that they have on their team. Scotty Barnes, quickly, RJ Barrett. I think all these guys have great skills and attributes that they contribute to teams. And then their big man rotation. Pirtle has been out uh for like what feels like 2 months with back issues, and there's like no clear timeline. So something weird's going on there. If you remember, I had him as the third worst contract when we did our worst contracts draft. That's paying off pretty well right now. But since he's been out, Colin Murray Boyles and Sandro Mamukelashvili have been getting a lot of run, and it's been super fun to watch because I love those players a lot. So those two players, Mamu and Colin Murray Boyles, are kind of the reason why the Raptors are this high for me. As for the Thunder, kind of similar to like the Suns and Rockets. I just know what I'm getting out of them. It's not as special to me anymore, but it's still a fun watch whenever it's going on. Like they had a good game with New Orleans last night that I was pretty tuned into. Um, Speaking of New Orleans, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing out of them. They've gone to starting lineup of Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, Herb Jones, Zion, and Derek Queen. They've just gone huge, and it's been pretty effective in some of the games already. They've actually been giving Jordan Poole DNPs. Like he's just not playing,
Good
which
for
is pretty
them.
interesting. Yeah, like they don't care. Like good for them. Um, but I like seeing the opportunities that other players are getting. Like Yves Missi has been playing really well recently. Jeremiah Fears last night was pretty fun to watch. Moving on to Detroit, they're just playing so great. I like watching like their smash mouth form of basketball, just super physical, lots of defense, lots of big bodies. And then you got Duncan Robinson shooting 7 threes a game on 40%. That's always super fun to watch when anyone's shooting that high of a usage with efficiency.
He has kind of the same
Um,
numbers that he had last year on Miami, but I just feel like it looks different, and it just looks like he fits in way more with that system and is a lot more valuable.
oh yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot, being like the pseudo Malik Beasley replacement because no one knows what's going to happen with him. That was a really important sign for Detroit. And then the Nets. So this is just where me being a nerd and loving random stuff comes in. I love seeing all their young rookies play and their second year guys and their third year guys. And then Claxton's one of my favorite centers in this league, especially with Day'Ron Sharp off the bench. They're probably my favorite center rotation in the league. And then this version of Michael Porter Jr., where he just has all of the keys, but he's like doing it really efficiently and like playing good team ball. I'm loving this version of Michael Porter Jr., even though they might be trading him soon. I hope not, but it would be smart.
Who's your
And then
favorite
Cam Thomas.
rookie at the Nets? If you had to
Um,
pick one moving forward that you could keep, all the rest have to go to the G League or other teams, who would you pick?
God, that's a good question. They all have great things to them that I like. Um, okay, if I'm picking one, I'll just pick Nolan Traore. Um, I think I'm picking out of watchability. I don't know, man. That's so good. That's a good question. I don't know. I could talk about all of them. Can I just say all of the above for right now?
What's one thing you like about each of them? That's probably a better question.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Traore. I like his creation and his passing. Like when he's getting on a drive, he makes some pretty good passes. So that's the thing I like about him the most. For Wolf, I like his size and like the ability he has with that size and the way he's being used. Like he's got some good handoff actions when he's out there with Porter and Claxton. There's just so much size. And then he's just taking you to the rack and he has that like slow ability where like you kind of slow down and the defender's not ready for it. Um, Drake Powell, I like how he kind of came in and was being a facilitator and passer. That's not something I kind of thought he was, but he's been showing it pretty well. And I like his defensive energy a lot. Ben Saraf, I just I like his size for the most part, being, the position he is. He doesn't get as much playing time as the other rookies. And then their lottery pick, Yegor Doyman, he's probably like the guy I'd pick going forward. One of my more favorite archetypes where he's a tall playmaker and connector, but he's also just firing away from three like a sharpshooter. It's pretty great. So to answer your question, the one if I had to pick one going forward, it would be Yegor Doyman.
All right, let's do it. S tier. Give me your top
Okay.
five, and I'm already loving the top two, so go for it.
Yeah, so I'll start from the right. So number five, I got the Hawks. It's just the Jalen Johnson experience. It's so fun seeing everything, and I love the fit of players around him. Alexander Walker, McCollum's been playing better for the Hawks. I like Okongwu as a player. Reece O'Shea's been hurt, which sucks because I'm a big Reece O'Shea guy. I think he was on my love list team. I kind of forget, or he might have been on my honorable mentions for that episode. And then my guy Krejci, he's on this team. But dude, it's been a tough last 3 weeks for Krejci stands because he's been on such a cold streak shooting, and then the trade of bringing in McCollum and Kispert are just like more guys that can shoot. They've just been playing over him, so it really sucks to be a Krejci stand right now. But holding out hope, Grizzlies. I love watching the Grizzlies. Since I was home over this break, I was watching a bunch of them because they're available to watch, for like the local blackouts. I can't watch them here in Columbia, but I can back in Kansas City. Cam Spencer is just a one of a kind, man. He gets double digit assist games like it's nothing whenever John Morant's not playing. It's so fun to watch because he's such a good shooter too. So when you see him flying off these handoff actions, teams are either trying to cover his shot, and then whenever they overplay that, he just sneaks on by and makes the right pass. And then you got other guys around him like Aldama, who I've talked about before, Vince Williams, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson, even Jock Landale. It's just like they got so many guys. The thing about the Grizzlies is they have so many guys that have so many abilities, and it just enables the way that they play so well. It's just free flowing, reading the defense and playing together. It's awesome hoops watching the Grizzlies. For the Bulls, Giddey was out for a little bit, but he's back now. But he's coming off the bench, just for like management. I think the team, they're the team I've probably watched the most this season. Right now, it's a little clustery. I think they need to get Giddey back in the starting lineup to get back to their original identity that they were doing pretty well with. Also, I think there's maybe some trade deadline buzz that's affecting this team. Like they're not. They said they're not trading Vucevic, but I saw today that Kobe White, Trey Jones, and Ayo Dosunmu are all being talked about. So there's a little uncertainty with where this roster is going to be going forward. But and I do think they have some. I do think they have some log jams, just with positions and rotations. But
I think they
I
need to build
can't.
around Giddy and Buzelis. I think those are the guys
I
they would need to
I
keep before
agree.
anybody else.
I absolutely agree. And shout out to Jalen Smith, who's been in the starting lineups. They've been doing Jalen Smith, Vucevic double big lineups, and it's been pretty good. Now your team, the Celtics, dude. I
Amari Williams, baby.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Where he just came in double OT and finished out the game for you. No, it's been great watching the Celtics. I just love a team that is built to shoot a bunch of threes, drive and kick, take an efficient mid-range shot, and then you also have a rim protecting center like Kata. You have a guy off the bench that can shoot like Garza. Garza doesn't shoot that much. Whenever he does, it goes in well. And then just the flurry of other guys out there. Pritchard's chucking, Simons is chucking, Hauser is chucking. And then you got Derek White and Jalen Brown kind of chucking and attacking the defense. Pritchard does too. Um, and then the forwards of Minot and Walsh going out there playing super hard. I've just really loved watching the Celtics. The only caveat is I don't like the Celtics broadcast. I usually switch to the other team.
Is that
Uh,
Steve Greeny in them? Or yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I do the same with the Warriors. I do the same with the Sixers. I switch away from them. It's just something about whether I don't like the voice, I don't like the way they talk, I don't like what they say when they talk, but it's whatever. And then our number one team, the Charlotte Hornets, they have been absolutely obliterating teams recently. They are the best offense in the last, I think, 15 games. Net rating, they have the best offensive net rating that is. It's just been so amazing to watch. Like these pieces, before the season started, it's like this team could be super great hypothetically, but let's just see it happen. LaMelo's been healthy and he's been playing good. Con Knipple should be Rookie of the Year finalist. Brandon Miller, one of my favorite players, he was on my love team when we did that episode. He's been absolutely great. Um, the center rotation of Kalkbrenner and Diabate, they're holding it down. Miles Bridges is playing well, even though he's in trade rumors. And then bench pieces, they finally got Grant Williams healthy. Josh Green is healthy. Trey Mann and Colin Sexton are running the show off the bench, being creators off the bench. It's just been so fun to watch, and I'm always tuning in. Also, shout out to Eric Collins on their broadcast. You can't ever pass up an Eric Collins broadcast. So, yeah, that is all of my spiel on League Pass tiers.
I found a Charlotte Hornets shirt at Target and I did purchase it. So I could be wearing it the next pod. You never know.
There we
I
go.
I mean I love Knipple and Flag. It just the fact that they are both like from Duke, played on the same team, didn't win it all, which I thought they were going to, but the fact that they're number one and two in the Rookie of the Year is just awesome to see. I love those dudes, and I mean they just both seem like really good guys too. I'm hoping Flag eventually ends up on the Celtics. But getting back to the Celtics, Brad Stevens is a genius. The fact that he was able to get us under the cap or get us under the stupid apron or whatever and keep the players that are completely bought in. He wasn't stupid and didn't ever think about even shout out to Danny Ainge too, because they never split up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum was on the Pivot podcast, Ryan Clark's podcast, and he was talking about how the media just tried to make them like they have to keep one. They just have to keep one or the other. You can't keep both. And he said that there was some growing pains. He had like some really interesting quotes that I've been seeing all week. And the fact that they just needed to, at the end of the day, they just wanted to win. And the fact that they reached the Eastern Conference semifinals, Tatum's first year and Brown's second year, and that just set the expectation so much higher because the expectation in Boston is already so high with all the championships, Larry Bird, all these legends, Bill Russell. The fact that they stayed together and then Stevens had the ability to be like, we have to keep Derek White. Because, yeah, he did have a huge shooting slump to start the season, but they kept him. We kept Pritchard, who underrated. I think he was even undrafted, I'm pretty sure. And obviously, we've paid him well. Simons, I think we need to keep when Tatum comes back. Simons, I love watching him. I've loved watching him since Portland. Just the jump shot is so clean. He just seems like a lesser Damian Lillard, and then Kata, we talked about him. Absolutely love watching him. Hauser, one of my favorite shooters in the league. It just seems like every single time he shoots it, it's going in. And then, like you said, Garza has been really fun. Minot, Walsh had those games where he won us some games early on with his defense, and then Shireman. Even shout out to Tillman and Boucher and Harper and Amari Williams. I think he'll be kind of like a Robert Williams moving forward because Brad Stevens was so smart getting rid of Porzingis, who's dealt with the sickness. Holiday, who's getting older, is not able to play as well. Williams dealt with the injuries. Smart. He just has made decisions where it's just like him and Sam Presti are on a different playing field than everybody else.
Hmm. Also want to mention Hugo Gonzalez, dude. Hey, just
Yes, dude. How can I forget?
his effort alone is awesome. Like he puts his body on the line every single night, and you just gotta appreciate seeing someone do that. Young rookie wanting to make his mark with a franchise that has all this history to it, and the fans already love him. What a pick by Brad Stevens.
I was watching his tape when we drafted him because I never heard of him, didn't see him on any of the draft guides or any of that, and I loved the effort. Didn't know if it would translate, but him and Amari Williams have won us a game already. So if they can keep having that same level of intensity when they play, because obviously when Tatum comes back, the minutes are going to be taken away from some of these guys. So it'll be fun going down the stretch. What are you most looking forward to as we have about a minute left? What are you most looking forward to this trade deadline?
Um, I don't know, man. There's not too much to look forward to unless Giannis actually is going to get traded. Because I've also seen a report that that the Milwaukee is not afraid to wait till the offseason to get the right price. That's kind of a bargaining technique. But I guess I am looking forward to a Giannis trade because that's going to lead to much more trades following. The trade market's just all on him right now. If Milwaukee came out and said, we're not trading Giannis this season, then I think trades would start happening. If Milwaukee came out and said we are trading Giannis, then stuff would happen. But the way it's been, where it's kind of just like in between, no one knows what's going on. The market is just all dependent on that. So I guess I'm looking forward. Um, I mean it's all on Giannis. So
Giannis,
I
make up
guess
your mind, bro.
I'm looking I'm looking forward to the return that Milwaukee will get. That's actually what I'm most looking forward to. What return are they going to get for him? Is it going to be how many picks are they getting? How many of the assets, like player wise, are they getting back? Are young pieces they want to build around? What are the players coming back just salary filler? Yeah. So that will be interesting.